Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Dr. Steve for WONG. I'm the school head of Philippine Chen High School. Today, I want to share my insights about the challenges that still exist in online classes. And I call that challenges the 3 A's. Okay. After 1.5 years of online classes here in Philippines, there are still some concerns has not yet overcome. Okay. First is the adaptability. The second one is attendance. And the third one is assessment. Okay. Let me talk something about this adaptability in both student side and teacher side. In the student sides, there's a problem in digital literacy issues, such as this login. Sometimes students are having hard time to log in, so they cannot participate in their classes. Or sometimes they have this difficulty in submitting the task. Okay? Different schools, different teachers, they have different platforms and different ways and approaches to log in, to participate in classes and submit tasks. Okay. And the most problem in this digital literacy is how to communicate with teachers and classmates in a very well-mannered way, such as the communications etiquette and what is their rights and responsibility. Of course, another problem is the technical issues, such as the internet access and gadgets. Parents choose not to invest in their internet access or the gadgets that students use in their online classes because during this pandemic time, food and medicines are the priority for them. But they should know that education is an investment, it's not a cost. Third one is this self-discipline problem. So students, they go to classes late, or actually they didn't like to submit assignments on time or not to do their homework, okay, due to they're late, always late because of oversleep. Of course, they have this lack of sense of responsibility. And another one is the priority issues. Okay. So this is the mindset problem of the students. And another one is the motivations problem. So number one, they don't complete the task on time. They're not motivated. They don't want to do things. Okay. They just want to submit their task just because they have to submit the task. Okay, disregard of if they submitted earlier or it's late. And they can't stay engaged long. Okay, after probably when they attend their classes, they will open the camera, and after a few minutes, they will close the camera. And then they will do other things. They're not listening to the classes. They're not motivated. They don't want to attend the classes. They are forced to attend the online class. Okay. And another one is slow in making progress, or actually none at all, because of they're isolated, they're bored, or they just have this mental health problem, which is we as the adult or parents, teachers, or even friends, we didn't notice that. So my recommendation for this is, number one, we have to advise the students to stay connected to the teachers and classmates. Of course, they have to practice these communications etiquettes, such as never type all caps, the words is in all caps, and they have to choose the appropriate words in chatting with teachers and classmates. Okay, and then tell them stop complaining. Once there is a problem, seek help, seek for help. Okay, so don't complain and just sit there and doing nothing, and try to stick to the schedule. Okay, not and then practice positive self-talk. Okay, in teacher side, of course, the digital literacy problem and the technical issues are the same with the students. Okay, and then it's they're having hard time to set these online activities. They used to set the physical activities, but it's really hard to set online activities due to they have this problem in digital literacy. Okay. Another one is the online classroom management. okay? Because the physical class management and online classroom management are totally the same. They should have this approach, how to manage them. They should have this the best way to handle the students in their online class. And then they are not flexible in handling issues. In the teacher itself, themselves, they have this mindset problem, okay? Particularly, they are easily burned out. So my recommendations for this one is the teacher should practice this growth mindset, and then they have to attend some related to online classes, trainings or seminar or workshop. Try to practice these collaborations. You have to take note of this. You're not alone. And don't make things complicated. Stay simple, make things simpler. And the most important at all is you have to stay positive. Again, the number two issues that we have not yet solved during this online classes time is this attendance. We all know that class attendance were positively related to students' academic performance, and students who had more attendance rates were more likely to spend more time in online self-learning. Okay, what are the reasons why the students are not or hate attending online classes? Number one, maybe they don't have this internet access or they have this poor connectivity. Number two, it's due to they don't have this priority in studying. So in here in Philippines, there's a lot of cases. The students will play some online games, particularly Mobile Legend or others, then cause them to sleep late, and the result, oversleep. They forgot to attend the class. Okay, and for those financially constrained students, they need to go to work and do some house chores. Okay, so the work to earn money is more priority, is greater than to attend the classes. And then, of course, as I mentioned a while ago, they go to class and they would turn off the camera and audio and just walk away. And mostly, they are pretending to be sick. So, my recommendations for these issues is, number one, we have to set online class rules and policies with the clear definitions on that. And we have to strictly implement the rules and policy. Let the students know the consequence once they violate the rules and this policy. We can also have this video attendance. We have to require the students to open the camera. Okay, but if the students has this poor internet access or poor connectivity, of course, we can force the students to open the class, the camera. So we have to use another way to check the attendance. Number one is we can use the Google form. We can create a Google form, a link for them to log in and log out. Okay, probably 5 to 10 minutes before the class, we post the link in the chat room. Okay, and let the students to log in just by clicking the link. Or then 5 to 10 minutes, they have to click the link and to log out. Okay, this is one way of we can make sure that students will attend your class during the time they're waiting for the logout time. Okay, of course, in the middle, we can have this interaction with students. Okay, just like recitation. Okay, just like recitation. And then the students can, if they are not allowed to use this microphone due to the poor internet connectivity, they can just type in a chat room. Okay, type in a chat room. The purpose is we just want to know if the student is still there or they still listening to your class, to your lesson. Okay? Or we can use this online poll. Okay, we can ask questions and we can ask for their opinion. That will be another way of checking the attendance because they are participating in your class. Okay. The third one is assessment, and this is the hard one. Okay. So an online assessment may be defined as an evaluation of a person's ability, behaviors, and or characteristics. This test is conducted over the internet, may using available web technologies. An assessment may set out with clear objective, such as to test the knowledge or the learning process of a student. So what are the challenges in online assessment? Okay, number one is a grading system. Number two is a technical issues. We have to consider not all the students are this technically capable. They're not all the no, we all know they are the Generation Z students. They are the digital natives, but not all. Even though they are digital natives, but not all are very good in using these online things or the technical skills. They are not good for that. Okay, so in grading system, the teachers is hard to give grades. We all know that the common problems that exist till now is we cannot make sure that the assessment that done by in their home is done by the student himself or herself without anyone assisting them or without anyone coaching them. Okay, so another challenge is this output base. Okay, are we after the output or are we after the process? Okay, that will be a big issue. Okay, it's a formative or summative assessment. So we have to consider this. And then the student and the teachers, they have this lack of trainings of conducting this online assessment. Online assessment in the physical form of giving examinations is totally different. Okay, we just cannot send Word document for the students. They have to type the answer and then send it back to the teachers through email. No, it's so different things. So how the teacher should be trained how to give a appropriate assessment to this approach to the students. Okay, so most of the teachers, they are trained in how to handle online classes, but not train them to handle how to give online assessment to the student. Okay, and next thing is the cost of investment. We sometimes use some platform that includes this assessment. Okay, includes us giving assessment to students, but take note, you have to pay. You have to pay. But if your schools doesn't have this budget for that, well, of course, the teacher can afford to pay because here in Philippines, the salary of the teacher is not that big like the other professions. Okay, so the teacher would just give up. They will not use the assessment of that platform because they don't want to pay, and then they would turn back, go back. No, I mean they would go back to the old style of giving assessment to the students. Okay, that may be not, they will not cause a good result. It's not accurate result that the students are really learning or not. Okay, and then changing assessment pattern. What do you mean by this one? Teachers usually give true or false. Okay, true or false, yes or no, or actually it's the multiple choice questions. Okay, or the connect the dot, the simple one, because teachers want, because in this simpler assessment mode, actually the computer, the computer system has these functions of automatic giving you the grades. Okay, they can compute the grades for you, they can check it for you. Okay, but aside for that, if I want to change the assessment pattern of my assessment, well, because I don't have this training, so how can I change my this assessment pattern in the more effective one? It's really a big problem, big challenge for a teacher. Okay, and then the biggest problem is this dishonesty. Okay, as I mentioned a while ago, we don't know if this assessment is done by the students himself, or there's somebody behind the students and teaching them how to take this assessment. Okay, so in our school, during the physical class, some students are not performing well in that classroom, but when they attend this online class, they have these very high grades. It's not where we don't have this trust on these students, but of course we have these doubts because we knew the students. And then if you ask the students, did they answer the assessment? Are they answer take this assessment alone based on their knowledge, or based on what they have learned in this online class? They would just say yes. Okay, but last year, the one whole year, we have conduct this interview with the parents, and the parent admits 90% of the assessment is done by the parents or with the help of the parents. Okay, because the parent says this is the only time, the only chance that their kid can get a high grades. Okay, dishonesty is nothing for them, but they just after the grades. So that is the biggest problem in this online assessment. Okay, so what will be my recommendations for this problem is we should conduct a process-oriented performance-based assessment, just like they can write their reaction paper, just a one paragraph. It's enough for the lower years, and the higher grades, they can write a longer, a longer essay about what have they learned. They can write the point of view of the lesson. Okay, they can express what they have learned in the lesson through drawing. Okay, or can they say something their learning process. Okay, as long we are using this process-oriented performance-based assessment, of course, we have to emphasize the more synthesis questions that require students to produce original work. Okay, it's not you copy things from the internet, it's not you Google it. Okay, and then we can choose these appropriate online or offline assessment tools. Of course, these online assessment tools, sometimes you have to pay. But of course, with the support of the schools, you can use, but not all the online assessment tools that is suitable for your students. Okay, if you can't afford to have these online assessment tools, you can use this offline. Just like you can create questions or activity using Excel, Word, or PowerPoint. That's like me. I always create some with the functions of gamifications, with some games, but actually they thought they playing, but I am assessing them. Okay, so by means of offline assessment tools, you can create something through PowerPoint, Word, Excel, and then you just send these questions using these tools to the students and give them time to finish the task. Okay, but make sure the task should be all original work, or the task, they can finish a task, they can finish the assessment, but you can let them report what they have done, what are the process that they taking this assessment. So this is one way of we can improve our assessment way, our way of assessing our students. Okay, so the 3 A's: adaptability, okay, the attendance, and this assessment is still the biggest challenge to all the teachers worldwide. Okay, we want to provide quality of education to the students. Okay, in this online way, so we have to face the reality that this three is the biggest challenge right now that we're facing, even though we have this 1 year class time of conducting online classes. Okay, so if we knew the problem, so we can find a solution to solve the problem. Once we solve the problems, of course, the quality of these online classes, these online lessons will be improved, enhanced. Okay, and we can bring back the trust and the confidence of the parents to send their kid to the school attending these online classes. Kasi here in Philippines, a lot of parents choose not to study, choose not to go to school to take education because they don't trust these online classes, because they think their kid will learn nothing from these online classes due to these three big problems. Okay, the adaptability of the students and the teachers, the attendance, and the assessment. Okay, so we have this pandemic for almost 2 years. Okay, so almost 2 years. So I'm praying that this pandemic will end soon and everything will back to normal. Okay, I'm not saying that in this new normal time we can provide quality educations. We have to face the reality of today. Is we cannot know when will this pandemic end. But as long this is a new normal time, we're still using this online assessment method. Okay, this online, not online assessment, this online classes. We're still conducting online classes. So we have to we have to check what's the problem, and we have to find the solution for it. Okay, this is my simple sharing of my insights. I hope you learned something from my insights, and thank you very much for listening.